the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
50 team in the nation.
Yeah. We'll end on this. The two losers of the transfer portal for you this cycle.
The fans. I'm tired of hearing about how every single player. Number one, there will be two teams mentioned. Number two, I have had my fill, and this doesn't seem to be the most popular opinion in the world, but I'll stand out on a limb when I need to. I've had my fill of points per game. I need people to realize that when you say a South Dakota transfer heading to Florida State scored 12 points per game, it means nothing. Who cares? I don't know if that meant he shot 17 times. I don't know if that meant he shot 4 times. I don't know if he was on a good team because of conveniently the record field goal percentage, efficiency numbers, none of that's ever listed. He just scored. Congrats.
He was just a bucket, man.
He was just a bucket for South Dakota. I'm sure there's a great reason why I've never heard his name before. So I'm a little tired, and some of this is like, it's obvious. It's, access protection, which that's fine. I've done it myself. I have unironically praised Rick Stansbury before because I was afraid of losing a Western Kentucky contact. It happens. I get it. You don't want to fall into that, though, because then I'm just a little tired of every single portal piece or portal ad being the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's okay if they're not a Dalton Knecht guys. Not every transfer is going to be amazing. Some are forgettable. Anybody remember one Tyreek Key? Nobody except the two of us does. So that being said, my two losers, finally getting to the point. You're going to be shocked to hear this, but once again, I hate what Arizona State has done. I would like to get inside the head, though maybe I wouldn't, of Bobby Hurley and just kind of figure out, like, what is it that you think you do here? What is your thought of offense? Like, what are you planning on? Like, how do you plan on putting the ball in the basket, which last time I checked was a pretty important part of basketball? Your best offensive player on this roster is Jaden Quaintance. Is it Quaintance? He's a 5-star recruit.
Yeah, the one who they pulled. Who did they steal him? Like, because he was like not.
And
that was a huge
Sanon too.
He was what?
Say his name. Jozon Sanon. I don't keep up with the recruiting side as much, but
it was just out of nowhere. Where he was a 5-star. Just it seemed like it wasn't on the radar. It seemed like that struck a lot of people by major surprise that he ended up at Arizona State.
Yeah, and so they've got those two. They've got Adam Miller, who you last remember from washing out at Illinois, or LSU, by the way. I forgot about that cameo. Or BJ Freeman, who I will say was awesome at Milwaukee last year, but on extremely high usage, very poor defender, and got hurt towards the end of the season, was not really the same down the stretch, I didn't feel, especially in his final game. So that's an interesting roster. How that scores in the big freaking 12, I don't know. So best of luck to you. But they are my pick. I hope I'm not outing a friend or sponsor, whatever of yours. The Overtime account, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, Overtime.
Yeah.
They're my pick for the TikTok team of the year, of a team that has like 5 amazing dunks against like Mississippi Valley State and then goes 12-19. Not a serious roster, not a serious team. Highlight reel at best. I hate everything about how this team is run. Anyway, my other love of the college basketball offseason, this one I feel less strongly about, but I've been trying to highlight teams that are in big conferences that I feel like didn't do a great job, but made several ads.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about Texas again. And you were right earlier. I would agree with you that this roster is lesser than last year's. Whereas, like, if you went, so I'm going to read the names to you, and they're going to sound great. Jason Kent, Julian Larry from Indiana State, Tremont Mark from Arkansas, Jordan Pope, Oregon State, Malik Presley, Vandy. On paper, all 5 of those are really fun ads. Like, it's a pretty interesting, like, name power roster. You have a little bit of a narrative of, like, it's not that Texas was bad last year.
Yeah.
But they weren't the year before when they had the hyper talented team. I just look at it, and we don't really like. I can't tell you. Like Malik Presley was bad on a bad Vanderbilt team. I'm not really sure why you're going to get him for depth. You don't bring back anybody notable from last year. Like Tyrese Hunter's gone, Dylan Mitchell's gone.
Well, that's the thing. Are any of these players better than Dylan Mitchell or Tyrese Hunter?
Here's one for
Nicely done, nephew. The Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.